Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambuliz,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sports.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Updates, this 16th day of July, where the fate of the dialogue is unknown. We're still following the story very closely. We're going to know if really the dialogue is going to begin today.
Yes, remember you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles. Our Facebook page, you can find us on Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok Faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS line is 0703339959. I am your host, Emma Bonariri.
And I am Vicky Kipto. Let's see what's happening on the front page of our daily, on our dailies today, and on the Daily Nation. Women leaders demand probe targeting police officers. Is this man the serial killer of Kware? Police say Collins Jumaisu Kalisia, 33, has confessed to killing 42 women and dumping their bodies at the Kware dump site. But while detectives have found their main suspect, his alleged neighbors both in city, slum, and village say they don't know him. You can find that story on pages 6 and 7 of the Daily Nation.
Yes, on the Standard newspaper, we can see that the same story is also making news. You can find that story on page 10. Kware, why DCI say it's a serial killer. Her foul murder. Police yesterday paraded a 33-year-old man they claimed is behind the horrific killings, but Kenyans are raising questions on the arrest. The same story is on page 10 of the Standard newspaper. Yes, so doubts arise after Kware murder suspect was arrested. Suspect alleges he has killed 42 women and disposed of their bodies from 2022. Residents deny knowing him, nor his alleged residence in Kware. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's look at how the murder suspect was arrested. Exactly 1 hour after the march ended, some locals in Kayole who had met at a joint to follow the entreating clash were still talking about the results when a contingent of police officers pounced on one of the fans. Unknown to them, the nabbed man happened to be Collins Jumaisu Alicia, who is 33 years old, who is said to have orchestrated the heinous crime acts of murdering, dismembering, and later on disposing of the bodies of his unsuspecting victims at now infamous quarry of death. Also, by 8 a.m. yesterday, Mr. Jumaisu is said to have revealed shocking details to the sleuth who were interrogating him in a tell-all confession where he allegedly admitted to have killed some 42 women between 2022 and July 11th, 2024.
Yes, how we can see that the suspect alleged that his first victim was his wife, Imelda Judith Halenya, whom he strangled to death before dismembering her body and disposing it at the same site. From the interrogation, all his victims have been murdered in the same style, said Amin. It was not clear if Halusa's mental fitness was assessed before he made the confessions that he was the serial killer.
And the director of DCI, Amin, said that he told us that he killed his wife out of bitterness, that he chopped her and damned her at quarry, but all these statements are subject to investigation. He's a person full of vengeance and hatred. Also, moments before he was busted, police say the suspect was actively luring his would be next victim, a woman identified as Susan, who has since been invited to record a statement.
Yes, and we can also see that the residents, they are saying they cannot identify the man as somebody who has been in their residence. And also social media reactions also question the DCI's statements, pointing to unresolved murder cases like that of Rita Waeni, as we saw in the previous months. Many expressed skepticism about the swift arrest of Halusa.
And also the residents of Kayole, the neighbors say that they've never seen the man. And I just want to quote what the Daily Nation says. Although the police said they had cracked out one of the country's most shocking murder cases, locals in Kware questioned the entire operation, claiming it was a ruse hatch to cover up the truth. Also, for starters, the locals told the nation that they had never seen anyone resembling the man whose photo was shared by the DCI and therefore do not know who the police have arrested. And I just want to quote one of the neighbors who said, "We cannot help you trace the home of someone we have never seen. Neighbors would have heard or seen something suspicious and reported the matter."
Yes, how can we say that this is something that has been cooked? Because how fast can they be able to solve? We've seen that this solving of these murders, it has happened so fast. Yeah, it was so
remember
fast.
that the bodies were first found in the quarry on Friday, and by yesterday the murder suspect had been arrested. So people are still questioning how the investigation was very fast. And also we cannot forget the neighbors' sentiments, where they say that they've never seen the suspect, you know, and even some people say that they just want to know who was the landlord of this man, so that they can tell them more about the 33-year-old Collins Jumaisi Alicia. And also, he was not only arrested, but also he confessed of the murder. And they said that his first victim was his wife, and he has killed 42 other women. So it's a story that we are following closely. We are going to know in the coming days what is going to unfold. Also, remember the woman who dreamt and see that he saw the whole incident in her dream is also under investigation. the DCI are interrogating her to find out more about the dream that she dreamt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we can see that this is actually what is happening. We are sending our condolences
to the
family,
families.
and we hope that they get the justice.
Yeah, and also they should
deserve.
know that the women who, the bodies of the women that have been found in the quarry are between 18 to 30 years, and they are all women. And this has raised concern, especially to the women leaders across the country. And I just want to quote what Anne Waiguru said yesterday. Women leaders led by Council of Governors Chairperson Anne Waiguru have called for investigation on all the officers at Kware Police Station following the discovery of bodies at a dump site located barely 300 meters from the station. Also speaking at the city mortuary in Nairobi, where the postmortems of the bodies started yesterday afternoon, Ms. Waiguru said all security chiefs responsible for the area surrounding Mukuru Kwanjenga must give an account of the happening dealings to the macabre situation in the area. Remember, the acting IG of police, Douglas Kanja, transferred all the police officers from Kware Police Station. And also remember, there was a protest on Sunday, and the residents of Kware wanted to set the police station on fire because they just feel they didn't do their work the way they suspected them to do. And also I just want to quote what Anne Waiguru said: "We condemn the brutal acts of violence and call for immediate and thorough investigation to ensure those responsible are brought to justice. It is critical that those entrusted with our safety and security be held accountable for failing to prevent such horrific crimes."
Yes,
That is according to Anne Waiguru.
Yes. So we can also see that on the Standard newspaper, running out of excuses. Who to blame? It started with blaming the opposition. It went to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now is non-governmental organizations that are being accused of funding the Gen Z protests. However, government seems to be grouping in the dark on how to address the governance issues it faces. You can find that story on page 4. Also protests. Gen Z have called for demos today and governors are not spared. Dialogue talks failed to take place yesterday. The dialogue that was supposed to start yesterday, it failed. There were no talks yesterday. Unrest, it started in schools but grew to national headache. And I quote, this is what the president said: "We know them. They are sponsoring violence against our democratic nation."
It's also the story that is making headlines on the Daily Nation. Foreigners funding protests, says Ruto. Kenya is a democratic country governed by the rule of law and run by democratically elected leaders, and all we want is peace. We cannot run our country through anarchy or a revolution. We will ensure that whoever is sponsoring the protest is met with the full force of the law. This is according to the President William Ruto, and you can find that story on page 4 of the Daily Nation. So yesterday the president accused Fund Foundation for sponsoring the demonstrations that began a month ago.
Yes. Can we say that this is maybe, it's clearly a failure. It has become a blame game. Now instead of giving heed to the people, to what they're saying, it has now started. It started becoming a blame game. From you can see that they started by blaming the opposition, and now they also blamed the former president,
Uhuru Kenyatta. And now the Fund Foundation. Remember, last week when the president spoke, he said that the international organizations are the one funding the ongoing protest or demonstration that we have seen in recent days. And he didn't give out the name, but yesterday he came out and he said that the organization that is sponsoring the demonstration is the Fund Foundation. And I just want to quote what the president said. And remember, the president was in Nakuru County yesterday, and he spoke and accusing the Ford Foundation for sponsoring the demonstration in Kurisoi South. And I just want to quote, and he says, Kenya is a democratic country governed by the rule of law and run by democratically elected leaders. And all we want is peace. We cannot run our country through anarchy or revolution. We will ensure that whoever is sponsoring the protest is met with the full force of the law. He also said that our youth are not available for retrogressive assignments. Those sponsoring them to cause violence and mayhem must be ashamed of themselves. We ask the Ford Foundation to explain to Kenyans its role in the recent protest. If they, that is Ford Foundations, are not interested in democracy in Kenya, they should either style up or ship out. We will call out all those who are bent on rolling back our hand-won democracy. This is according to the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto.
Yes, and also we can see that as such on the Ford Foundation's website yesterday revealed that the NGO has funded numerous pro-democracy activities in the country. Yes, so we can see that Ford Foundation also supports, and it supported human rights activities, and it is yet to respond to the president's rule.
Yeah, it is an organization that supports human rights activities. Also, they're responsible of giving scholarship, especially to people who come from needy families.
Yes.
And also yesterday, where the president spoke about and accused the Ford Foundation for sponsoring the protest, he was not alone. He was accompanied by his deputy Rigathi Gachagua and top Nakuru County leaders, including Governor Susan Kihika, Senator Tabitha Karanja, and Njoro MP Charity Gadhambi. Also, the leaders called for sobriety and pleaded with the residents to maintain peace and not to engage in further protest. And we've talked about the protest that is expected to begin
today,
this morning, and the protest has been dubbed Occupy CBD.
Yes.
Yeah, and also Mr. Gachagua spoke and he pledged to support the president to achieve the promises in his manifestos, while at the same time thanking him for the changes he made in his cabinet. He also said that the president has kept his promise to promote peace in the country. And also the president spoke about the Kware incident and the killings and the bodies that have been retrieved from the Kware. And I just want to quote what the president said: our children and girls in Kware have lost their lives because of criminals. I want to tell the country, those behind criminal activities against our children, against our daughters in Kware, all of them, the government will make sure they are brought to book and all of them are charged, so that we can stop criminality in Kenya and protect our children, our daughters, and all citizens.
Yes, so we can see that even yesterday the president also he announced that he will be naming members of his new cabinet next week after consultation. Yes, and remember also, as the president has said, that Ford Foundation is the one responsible for funding the protests. The protests have been intense, and the demonstrations have happened in the past 2 weeks, in the past 3 weeks actually, and they have been in major towns across the country, and we can see that in a lot of counties, actually almost all the counties, but most of them were the major towns.
Major towns.
Yeah.
And the Gen Z said that today they are going for the governors. They are not just occupying the CBD. They're not just holding the leaders accountable, but today they just want to focus on the government, on the governors. And also, let's talk about the dialogue that was to begin yesterday. But there was no dialogue. I remember the dialogue had been backed by Raila Odinga, and it has caused rift, especially in the Azimio la Umoja.
Yeah.
Remember, he was the presidential candidate of Azimio la Umoja in the 2022 election. But some of the leaders, and not just leaders, but key leaders like Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua have come out and they have opposed the dialogue. And remember, last week the president spoke about the dialogue, and he said that the dialogue will be multi-sectoral. It will be a multi-sectoral dialogue, and it means they are going to involve people from all sectors of this country, and the people who are supposed to participate in the dialogue were 150, and 50 were supposed to be youth. But until yesterday, there was no venue, and also the list of participants was not yet named. So we are still following the story very closely.
Yes, and we can also see that the same story is making news on the Standard newspaper, page 5. Her dialogue fails to start as leaders divided. On Sunday, Azimio leader retracted support for talks. A meeting of Azimio principals to take a common stand failed to take off yesterday. So we can see that yesterday they had a meeting, but they were not able to decide. They are not in one. It's not a one coalition right now. They haven't agreed. We can see that the former prime minister called for dissolution of parliament and elections to ensure Kenyans vote for leaders who have the best interests of the country. And also we saw that the Wiper leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, said that with the current happenings, it was clear that Kenyans did not have a good government in place, and there was no way they are going to dialogue with the administration after the killing of innocent Kenyans. We can also see that the DAP Kenya leader Eugene Wamalwa said that it was clear Kenyans were not interested in dialogue and wanted the president to resign since he had failed the country and presided over an incompetent administration. Also, the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, argued that he urged that Kome's resignation was not enough since Bungei was still the police commander who has presided over the killings and maiming of youthful protesters who were only armed with water bottles and phones.
They've called for the resignation of Nairobi police commander and Amson Bungei. Also, yesterday Martha Karua spoke and he said that what Kenya needs is action, not dialogue. The problems can be resolved by not going for the dialogue. And the reason why Kalonzo Musyoka doesn't want a handshake, this is according to Daily Nation. You can find the story on page 5, and I just want to read the headline. Kalonzo keen to avoid Raila mistake in handshake saga. Wiper Democratic Movement party leader Kalonzo Musyoka keen to avoid the curse of incumbency in 2027 when he is expected to make a second bid for the highest office in the land, has decided to reject President William Ruto's call for national dialogue. Also, his advisors are convinced that the reapproachment between Orange Democratic Movement leader Raila Odinga, who was the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition party presidential candidate in 2022 presidential race, and President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2018, known as the handshake, cost the former prime minister the seat. So Kalonzo Musyoka doesn't want to go in the same direction that Raila Odinga went. And I just want to quote what Kitui Senator Enoch yesterday said. The party has been unequivocal of the issue of dialogue with President Ruto. Calls for dialogue are unwise, ill-timed, and in bad faith. This is the party's stated position and has not been vacated. This is according to Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua. Also, we advise Kalonzo to stay away from Ruto. Working with him is bad for the future politics. The president must be left alone to face the consequences of his mistakes. That's why we are not boarding the government of national unity. Yeah. And also joining President Ruto defies logic. He's facing a lot of challenges. He has had differences with his deputy and now Generation Z. Wants nothing to do with him. How do you heal such a government? We cannot join such a government. This is according to Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua.
Yes.
So they've rejected the dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's clear that the opposition, the Azimio la Umoja.
But you cannot say
They are
like
not
the
in support.
Azimio la Umoja because
Not all of
Raila
them
Odinga is in support for
of
the
the
dialogue.
dialogue.
And then, but I think the majority of the, especially the core principles of Azimio la Umoja, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka,
and
who
even
else? Wamalwa,
Edwin Sifuna,
Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, especially those leaders that are very vocal in the
party.
in the
yeah,
party have
they-
rejected the dialogue. So
Yes, but we also saw that even the Azimio party leader, Raila Odinga, he also it's like he cooled off a bit when it came to the dialogues.
Yeah.
Now he's saying he doesn't want a dialogue.
doesn't want a
Because
dialogue.
yesterday when
Yeah.
he visited Mukuru, he said that he doesn't want talks, he wants action.
Actions.
And that is
Yeah.
what Kenyans want also. So we can see that maybe they are convincing him. They are pulling him to their side to reject the dialogue.
the dialogue. Yeah.
yes.
And remember there was a meeting yesterday
Yeah.
for the Azimio la Umoja and all the core principals were present, but they did not agree. So
Yeah.
maybe they are going to plan for other meetings so that because they want to have one voice as a party.
Yes.
Not that some of the members are going in this
agreement
direction,
of the
others are
dialogue
going in
and
that
stuff.
direction.
Yeah.
They want to have a one voice, and if they say they are for the dialogues, all of them should support. If they reject, all of them should reject the dialogue.
Yes, and also we can see that on page 6 and page 7 of the Standard newspaper, her governors to feel heat of demos as Gen Zs demand good governance, and also rage and courage call sweeps across Kenya. Yes, so we can see that they have given indications to occupy Kwale, Kilifi, and Mombasa County headquarters. These are the Gen Zs. In the Rift Valley, their visits will include governors' offices in Nakuru, Kericho, and Baringo. Gen Z anti-government protesters are set to move to the counties to demand accountability for the taxpayers' money. From the coast to Western Kenya, the protesters will occupy several county headquarters to push for good governance. And also according to social media posts and posters seen by the Standard yesterday, Gen Zs have given indications to occupy Kwale, Kilifi, and Mombasa County headquarters in the coast region. In the Rift Valley, they will pay visits to the governor offices in Nakuru, Kericho, Baringo, Bomet, Narok, and Nyandarua counties. In Nyanza, they will be visiting Governor James Orengo and Amos Nyaribo. There will be guests. In Nyanza, there will be guests, and those governors will be there. So we can see that the heat is still on.
The pressure increases.
As the anti-government protests are set to start today in the various counties.
They're targeting the government because the Gen Z feel that the governors have not been accountable enough the way they should, and that is why they just want to hold them accountable. And that story, especially on counties, remember last week the control of budget spoke, and he says some counties have many bank accounts that they just can't keep track on them. And some of the counties is Bungoma County. They have 352 accounts, bank accounts. Baringo, that they are going to occupy today, they have 304 bank accounts. So you can just think what all these bank accounts are for. And I think
they are calling the governors
accountable.
So we can see that the anti-government protesters are calling the governors to take responsibility and to be accountable. Yeah, despite significant concessions, Gen Z's pursuit of change shows no signs of slowing.
They're not backing down.
Yes, nationwide protests demand reform and justice. Yeah, the Gen Zs are once again gearing up for anti-government demonstrations set to take place today across all counties. The protest branded Rage and Courage, trending under the hashtag Occupy Everywhere, hashtag Ruto Must Go, are aimed at demanding accountability from leaders and fighting corruption. And we can see that they came, they've spoken and they've said that they are targeting the governors. The governors will not be spared. Yes.
Yeah, and remember, demonstrating, protesting is a constitutional right, but you should do it in a right way,
peacefully. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that today's protests, they are going to be peaceful? They won't be looting of properties. And do you also think that in a lot of counties today, a lot of businesses won't be opening? Yeah, they're going to be shut down.
Because of the fear. Remember, millions of money was lost
during the demonstrations in the past weeks.
Millions of money have been lost, and the business people are really in fear because they don't want to open their business for their business to be looted and also burnt down. And you should also know that some businessmen took the initiative of protecting their
own businesses. And we also saw that some businessmen also got hurt. Some business people were also hurt and they were injured, and even some were even shot at. So I think that a lot of people will not open their businesses because of the fear also of even getting hurt.
And also another story making headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation is APRO as state implements 7 shillings fuel levy increase, a decision by the state to increase the road maintenance levy by 39% to 25 per litre of petrol and diesel has caused public uproar amid concerns of further financial strain on household and businesses. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that is EPRA, made a surprise inclusion of the higher RML, road maintenance levy, in the petroleum prices cycle for July 15 to August 14. The tax is collected at the fuel pump and was previously set as 18 shillings per litre of petrol and diesel, with 3 allocated to an annuity fund and the balance to road maintenance, rehabilitation and development. You can find the story on page 8 of the Daily Nation.
Yes, we can also see that there's one person's opinion in page 14 of the Standard newspaper. It is curious that after over 60 years of poor leadership at the hands of hundreds of men, the accusing finger of society always points at 47 county women representatives. So they are saying that they are targeting women reps, and in the previous years we've seen that leadership has been in the hands of men.
They've not applied the 2/3 gender role.
Yes.
We've not yet accomplished the 2/3 gender rule. We're not yet there. But remember, it is in the constitution. But we've not yet accomplished. And we expect when the president will be picking the new cabinet, he's going to consider the 2/3 gender rule.
Yes. And also, I think even also on the picking of the president picking his cabinet, you can see the story in page 4 of the Standard newspaper. Meru and the Rakanithi residents plead for Kindiki's pardon. Yes, residents of Meru and the Rakanithi counties are concerned about the fate of Kithure Kindiki after President William Ruto dismissed his cabinet. Yes, we can see that Professor Kindiki held the traditional or powerful interior and national government administration dockets. Yeah, so we can see that a lot of, even not only the Meru people on social media, a lot of people have defended.
Yeah, and
Kithure
and
Kindiki.
especially the Meru governor and the Rakanidi governor spoke and said that Kindiki has been rated as the best performing cabinet in many occasions. That is why he feel like Professor Kindiki should be reinstated. And I think the president knows this.
Yes. So we are waiting because we got news also yesterday that the president will be reinstating some of his cabinet secretaries, but we don't know if they are just going to go back to the same ministry or maybe they'll be given other ministries.
And let's go back to the road maintenance levy hike. And we should know that the government secretly increases the road maintenance levy also despite opposition from the public. Remember, there was a public participation that started the other week, and also the former cabinet secretary for roads, Kipchumba Murkomen, was involved and even spoke and said the public have rejected the increase of the road maintenance levy. But despite that, the government went on and increased the road maintenance levy. Also, the levy was increased from 18 per litre to 25. The increase was published in the Gazette, and the new petrol will be, now people will purchase the petrol at 188.84, diesel at 171.60, kerosene 161.75.
Yes, also we can see that on other stories, blow to Ruto after court nullifies appointment of KRA chairman. So Anthony Mwaura's appointment as Kenya Revenue Authority chairman was quashed by the High Court yesterday. Yes, and this is what one of the High Court judges had to say, Francis Gikonyo. If the court allows this continue, it will set a dangerous precedent where the appointing authority commits illegality and later finds ways to sanitizing them.
And also another story that is making headlines on the front page is Spain triumph as unlucky England lose in yet another final. Spain's path to European success was forged the hard way thanks to a remarkable collective effort, while England suffered another agonizing defeat. You can find that story on page 31. Also, Rwanda's vote in poll expected to extend Kagame's 24-year rule. Voters in Rwanda lined up at polling stations yesterday to elect their next president, with 66-year-old incumbent Paul Kagame, who has ruled for nearly a quarter of a century, expected to cruise to victory. You can find that story on page 20. So I think they don't have a term limit in Rwanda the way we have it in Kenya.
Yeah, it's true, because he has been in government and he has also been winning with 99% of the votes.
And I know another African leader who has been winning and has been in power for a long time. I just want to, I don't want to mention names.
We can see the same story is also making news on the Standard newspaper. All eyes on Kagame as Rwanda votes. The election lineup is a carbon copy of the 2017 election, when Kagame obliterated his rivals with almost 99% of the vote, and there is little doubt about the outcome this year. You can find that story on page 27, and also on page 40 we can see that England fans in familiar terror. The same story was also making news on the Daily Nation. On page 13, why almost all probe reports will most likely gather dust. You can find that story on page 13. And newly raised road levy likely to start protests. You can find that story on page 25. So our dear viewers, we need to take a short break, but we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
When we come back, we're going to talk about obesity. Don't go anywhere.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu ndani ya Fahamu Siasa na Wanasiasa. Hapa tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya katiba, uchumi na teknolojia. Vile vile utaweza kufahamu na kujua kazi ya mjumbe wako, seneta wako, MCA wako kila siku ya Jumatatu na Alhamisi kuanzia mida ya saa 3 hadi saa 5. Ukiletewa nami
Welcome back, our dear viewers. Remember, you're watching Morning Updates, and today is Foodie Tuesday and also Nutrition Tuesday, and we are talking about obesity. We are here to educate you on obesity.
Yeah, remember you can interact with us. Our social media handles are in Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya. Also, you can send us an SMS. Our SMS number is 0703 339959. Also remember to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. And in our Did You Know segment, our Did You Know of today, we just want to know what is obesity. And obesity is a disorder involving excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. So obesity is a disorder that involves excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems.
Yes, it's true. And also we can see that also obesity is also due to chronic imbalance between energy intake and energy expenditure, leading to excess accumulation of fat in adipose tissues. So it's like the energy intake and the energy release, they are not compatible, because it said whatever you eat, you are supposed to use. You use the energy that you've gotten from the food to do something so that it can be broken down. But if you are not doing anything and you're just maybe eating.
Especially because we've said excessive fat or food that has fat. And also according to WHO, World Health Organization, in 2022, 1 in 8 people in the world were living with obesity. Also, worldwide adult obesity has more than doubled since 1990. In adolescents, obesity has quadrupled. Also, in 2022, 2.5 billion adults, that is between 18 years and older, were overweight. Of these, 90 million were living with obesity. Also, 43% of adults aged 18 years and over were overweight, and 16% were living with obesity. Also, in 2022 alone, 37 million children under the age of 5 were overweight. Over 390 million children and adolescents aged between the age of 5 to 19 years were overweight in 2022, including 160 million who were living with obesity. This is according to World Health Organization.
Yes, so obesity, we've said it's having a lot of body fats, or maybe having excessive body fats. Yes, and we see that body fat itself is not a disease, of course, because we all have body fat. Yes,
but when you have excessive body fat, that is when we can see that you're obese. Also, I just want to define obesity according to WHO. So it's different from the way we defined it earlier. Overweight is a BMI greater than or equal to 25. So you say that you're overweight when your BMI is greater than or equal to 25. Also, obesity is a BMI greater than or equal to 30.
Yes. So we can also see that when body fats, you have too much and excess body fats, that's when you are obese. And it's because it changes the way your body functions. It also changes mobility, and we've seen that obesity is related to other health conditions, such as diabetes.
And also when you're obese, you're likely to have other conditions or other health conditions. That is why people are encouraged to keep fit so that they can prevent themselves from getting these chronic or other conditions.
Yes, can we say that obesity can also affect children, or maybe it's just an adult thing?
we've said that even children that are below 5 years can be obese.
Yeah, because we've also seen that women who go to give birth and they're told the baby weighs a lot. It's like, hey, your baby is heavy, you need to reduce. Or maybe you need to reduce giving your baby a lot of fatty foods. Maybe you should just stick to one thing, maybe milk. Because this is something that we've seen and we've also had a lot.
Yeah. Also, I believe when you're diagnosed with obesity, one of the things that you're going to be told to regulate your weight is taking food that is less fatty, so that it can prevent you from adding more weight. And we just want to look at the symptoms of obesity. And one of the symptoms is excess amounts of abdominal fat that are higher than the amounts of body fat in other areas. Excess amounts of abdominal fat that are higher than the amounts of body fat in other areas. So when you have that excess amounts of abdominal fat, you can see that you are obese.
Yes, because we've seen that these are body fats which are excess in some areas. So maybe it's your stomach, maybe it's your sides, maybe it's your, your lower parts, your abdomen going downwards. This is when maybe we can say you are obese, because sometimes people gain weight and they think they are obese.
But you've just gained weight, you're not obese. And later on, we're going to look at how obesity is being classified, because I think the information is very little, especially in the public, and most people really don't know if they're obese or if they are not, because of the information that is out there. You may think you're obese, but in real sense, you're not obese. Or you may be obese, but you don't know you are obese. And another way to know that you are obese is a waist circumference of greater than 4 inches for men or 35 inches for women.
Yes. Can we say, okay, since there is obesity to women and there is obesity for women and obesity for men, is it different? Does it vary? Like you've said that when it comes to women, there is a ratio, and then when it comes to men, there is a certain, it's like you're obese when you're this amount of kgs.
And you have the same kgs or the same weight, but because she is a woman, she may be labeled to be obese. I think it happens because we just read in this article that a waist circumference of greater than 40 inches for men or 35 inches for women.
Hey. I'm wondering what my waist circumference is. And since we are talking about obesity, is there a difference between obesity and overweight? Can we say that overweight is something different? You are just overweight, but obesity is something different also. Maybe they are just the same. Yes. So overweight is actually a condition of excessive fat deposits, but obesity is a chronic disease, which we've said it affects how your body functions. It affects even your health, and it's related to other conditions such as diabetes type 2, heart diseases, and it can also affect bone health and reproduction. It also increases the risk of certain cancers. Obesity influences the quality of life, such as even sleeping or even moving.
So what Emma said is there's a difference
between being
overweight and
being obese.
Because you may be overweight,
but you're not obese.
You're not obese. You're just okay. And you're not prone to the conditions that Emma has just mentioned, like diabetes. What else? Cancer.
Even heart diseases. And also I think this means that when you are overweight, you can easily lose weight compared to when you are obese. Because when you are obese, it's something, maybe it's a bit more difficult, and it's something that also requires medication. When you're overweight, you can just do it manually, maybe with exercising, dieting. But obesity is something that needs medical attention because it's a chronic, complex disease.
Also, another symptom is when you have a BMI of over 30.
Yeah.
You can you can be said to have obesity.
Yes, and also our viewers, remember that when it comes to body weight, it varies from a person to person, because it also depends with your height. If you are maybe short and you are maybe somebody who is short, they might be okay having around 40 kgs, 30 kgs because of their height. And obesity might vary also because of the height, because the person may be labeled as overweight, or maybe they may be even overweight, maybe if they extend to maybe 60 kgs because they are short. Yeah, but somebody taller and they are 60 kgs, it's okay.
And also, again, I think it depends on the age.
Yeah.
Because when you're below 5 years and you're 60 kg, then you can say that you have obesity.
Yes. So yeah, it also varies from age and also height.
Yeah, so let's look at how is obesity classified. How will you know that you have obesity? The following classes are used for adults who are at least 20 years old.
Yeah.
And the BMI 18.5 or under, you may classify it as underweight. 18.5 or under, when you have the BMI of 18.5 or under and you're 20 years old, you can say that you're underweight. Also, 18.5 to 25, you can say it's a normal weight. 18.5 to 25, you can say that is BMI. You can say it's a normal weight. And then 25 to 30, you can classify it as overweight. And then 30 to 35, now you start classifying. From 30, that is when we say you are obese. And 30 to 35 BMI, it's called class 1 obesity. So there are types of obesity. 30 to 35 BMI, you can say it's class 1 obesity. 35 to 40, you can say it's they're classified as class 2 obesity. And then 40 or over, it's classified as class 3 obesity, and it's known as morbid extreme or severe obesity. And also, we just want to see how children who are 5 years and below are classified. And for a doctor to diagnose obesity in a child over 2 years old or a teen, their BMI has to be at or above the 95 percentile. A BMI it's or above the 95 percentile is higher than the BMI of 95%. With the same age and sex assigned at birth. So a BMI of below 5%, we classified it as underweight. 5% to 85%, it's a normal weight. 85% to 95% is overweight. 95% or over, they are classified as obesity.
Yes, and also we can see that what are some of the causes of obesity and also being overweight. So obesity is a result from an imbalance of energy intake, that is the diet, and energy expenditure, which is physical activity. So I think this is the main cause of obesity. It's mostly, it occurs because of maybe the diet, somebody eating a lot, or maybe eating a lot of fatty foods, and they are not involved in physical activity that help them to burn the fats the excess fats that are inside the body. So you find that the fats, they continue attaching themselves in the body until you realize there is nothing you can do. You've become obese.
Yeah, and that is why I think we're encouraged to consume food that is balanced. And we've talked about diet, so it's good when we take a balanced diet so that we can prevent our bodies from having excessive fats.
Yeah, and also even if you are eating other foods, maybe if it's fast foods and maybe this, once in a while junk foods, I think it's better you get involved in physical activities, activities that can make you lose and burn down the fats. Yes, and also we think, I I know that sometimes obesity can be caused by genetic variations, because we've seen some families where they're just big people. Yeah, it's like it's their family. You just see them and they're like, this is now a genetic variation. And I think when it comes to genetic variations, I don't know if you can change it. I don't think you can change because it's something genetic.
Yeah, but you can regulate the amount of fat that you consume. Yes, you may have the weight. You may see that you may be overweight, but you may not go to the extreme of you being obese. You may just, if you know that you have a family history of big people, you may control the amount of fat that you consume.
Yes. And I also think that obesity is also caused by I think also ignorance. When people don't know, they don't know maybe whatever they are feeding themselves.
Yeah, and I just want to give you examples of food that have a lot of fat.
Oils,
and not just food, but also oil. And one of them is called olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, non-hydrogenated margarine. I think Blue Band falls here. Avocados, some nuts, e.g. almonds, pecans, cashew nuts. Also, we have cold water fish. It's called a salmon or sardines. Also, soybean oils. We have omega-3 eggs. We have flax seeds, walnuts, pecans, pine nuts. We have foods high in saturated fats also include fatty meats. Those meats that have a lot of fat.
And I think pork.
Full fat dairy products.
Yes.
Like cheese. Butter. We have margarines, the way you pronounce. We have coconut oil. We have ghee. Or clarified as butter. We have vegetable ghee. Also, we have palm oil. Other food that has a lot of fat, hot dogs. I know.
Hot dog lovers.
Yeah, I'm going to step on people's feet here. Hot dogs, burgers. We have deli meats, cookies, donuts, cakes, chips, fresh fries, and other snack foods.
And I think as you've also been mentioning them, we've noticed that most of these foods, they are foods that have a lot of oils, and also they have a lot of sugars. And we know the side effect of sugars, a lot of sugars and a lot of oils in your body. And also there's an alternative. If there are things like butter, there's the healthy butter, there's the healthy way of maybe there's a healthy option. And also we've seen oils like olive oil, like you mentioned, they are healthy oils. These are oils that they have less cholesterol, and also they reduce rates of getting heart diseases. And also, like you mentioned, salmons, sardines, omena. What omena? So things like omena, salmons, fish. I think these are healthy meats. And
but
like
when
the
you
fatty,
consume them in a small amount, because they become excess when you consume them in a larger amount, or maybe you consume them daily.
Yes, so I think also regulation. You need to regulate yourself when it comes to consuming a lot of, especially animal products. Because we've seen they contain a lot of fats. Even dairy products, they have a lot of fats. Yes, our dear viewers, we are taking a short break, but when we come back, we are going to tell you the consequences of obesity, the health consequences of obesity.
And also lifestyle choices.
And is obesity treatable? Yes, don't touch that dial.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu ndani ya Fahamu Siasa na Wanasiasa. Hapa tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya katiba, uchumi na teknolojia. Vile vile utaweza kufahamu na kujua kazi ya mjumbe wako, seneta wako, MCA wako kila siku ya Jumatatu na Alhamisi kuanzia mida ya saa 3 hadi saa 5. Ukiletewa nami Peter Mohoro. Usikose kutazama Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa, sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili.
Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenye wewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry, alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday
from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go. This is
Gospel Link Up.
kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, The Ramses, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Viewers, remember you're watching Morning Updates. I am still your host, Emma Bonarir.
Yeah, and I am Vicky Kipto. Remember, you can interact with us. Our social media handles are Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya. Also, you can send us an SMS. Our SMS number is 0703 339959. Also, remember to tell us where you're watching us from and your name. And I'm going to read one of the texts that we've just received, and it says, Kenyan easily forget that they wanted economic recovery na sio muungano wa vyama. Kenyan easily forgets that they wanted economic recovery na sio muungano wa vyama. I think he's referring to the newspaper review that we had in the morning.
Yes, our dear viewers, remember we were talking about obesity. Yes, and we talked and we told you what obesity is on our Did You Know segment. And also, we've also spoken about the causes, some of the causes of obesity.
We said it may be genetic.
Yes, and also classification of obesity. Yeah, we've seen that obesity is different when it comes to different genders, ages, and also heights. Yeah, it varies.
Yeah, and also BMI. When you have a higher BMI, you may be classified as having severe obesity.
Yes. And now we want to go into common health consequences of obesity. Yeah, these are health conditions that are accompanied with obesity. It's like if you have obesity, you are most likely to have these conditions. Yes, and Vicky, I believe you are going to educate us.
And some of the health conditions that somebody who has obesity is prone to is heart disease and stroke. And obesity makes you more likely to have high blood pressure and unhealthy cholesterol levels, which are risk factors for heart diseases and strokes. So heart disease and stroke.
Yeah, it's true, and it's also because I think cholesterol affects your heart. Yeah, a lot of fats and a lot of oils, they always affect the heart. Yeah.
Yeah, and another one is type 2 diabetes. Obesity can affect the way the body uses insulin to control blood sugar levels. This raises the risk of insulin resistance and diabetes. So type 2, people who have obesity may also have type 2 diabetes because of the obesity affecting the way the body uses insulin to control blood sugar.
Yes, it's true. And also remember that we said we should keep off from a lot of sugars and a lot of fatty foods. And also we said that obesity is a condition that affects your body functions. Yeah, the way the body used to function, it changes. It's like you cannot move anymore, or maybe you find mobility to be difficult. And also things like maybe even it can even change your digestive system.
Yeah, and also the way your heart pumps blood.
Yeah.
That is why most people who have obesity, they have a high rate of
heart diseases, like
and
heart
even
failure.
Heartbeat. The way their heart beats is a little bit faster than a normal person.
Yeah. So we can also see that some of those diseases, like she said earlier, they are cardiovascular diseases. These are diseases related to the heart, and as Vicky has said, like the heartbeat, even blood pressure, things like even the blood sugar itself. These are things that are affected if you have obesity.
Yeah, another condition that you may have is certain cancers. Obesity may increase the risk of cancer of the uterus, cervix, endometrium, ovary, breast, colon, rectum, esophagus, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidney, and prostate cancer.
Yes, because remember we've said that obesity changes the way your body functions. Yeah, so it might change the way maybe even how your digestive system works, and that is where you find that you might have cancers like the esophagus. Is affected.
Another condition is digestive problems. Obesity increases the likelihood of developing heartburn, gallbladder disease, and liver problems.
Yes, and I think these are some of the digestive disorders that accompany obesity.
Another condition is sleep apnea. People with obesity are more likely to have sleep apnea, a potentially serious disorder in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep.
Yeah, and I think it's true because I think a lot of people who struggle with even their weight, with body weight, like if they are overweight and maybe they have a lot of weight, let's say maybe they're overweight for themselves, it's something that happens. They struggle even with breathing, and not only at night, I think also during the day. Yeah, that is where you find, you know, when you start unaanza kuhema. Yeah, people start saying, hey, ujaku ukifanya tizi, ujaku uki-eat healthy.
Another condition is fatty liver disease. Obesity increases the risk of fatty liver disease, a condition that happens due to excessive fat deposit in the liver. In some cases, this can lead to serious liver damage known as liver cirrhosis. So, and another condition is severe COVID-19 symptoms. Obesity increases the risk of developing severe symptoms of you become infected with the virus that causes coronavirus disease 2019, known as COVID-19. People who have severe cases of COVID-19 may need treatment and intensive care units or even mechanical assistance to breathe. We talked earlier about having difficulty in breathing. And you know, when you have COVID-19, you may have difficulty in breathing. So when you're already obese, it may be even more difficult for you to breathe. That is when you have COVID-19.
Yes, and also remember that obesity, it makes your immunity weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that automatically changes when you are obese. And also I have seen a lot of people, I've seen some documentaries where people were so obese that they were not able to move by themselves. They have to be moved by wheelchairs, by cars. It's like they cannot do anything by themselves. They have to have assistance. Yes, and our dear viewers, we are going to prevention measures or how to manage, or maybe lifestyle choices, how you can manage obesity, how you can live and avoid obesity, and maybe how you can prevent obesity.
Yeah, because we've seen the causes of obesity, and now we are going to tell you how we can prevent obesity, or the lifestyle choices that you can embrace so that you can prevent ourselves from being obese. And some of them is unhealthy diet, a diet that's high in calories, lacking in fruits and vegetables, full of fast food, the likes of burger, hot dogs, chips and all that, fries, cookies, and laden with high calorie beverages and oversized portions contributes to weight gain. So unhealthy diet, healthy choices when it comes to what we eat.
Yes, so that is number one. That is like the number one thing that you should know about obesity. It's your diet. Your diet always affects your weight. That is something that we all know.
Yeah, and you're encouraged to consume a lot of fruits and vegetables. Another lifestyle choice is liquid calories. People can drink many calories without feeling full, especially calories from alcohol and other high calorie beverages such as Sagad soft drinks. I think sodas can contribute to weight gain.
Yeah, it's true. Sodas, a lot of intake of sodas can increase to weight
that
gain.
has a sugar, that has
a lot of sugars.
Another is inactivity. If you have an inactive lifestyle, you can easily take in more calories every day than you burn through exercise and routine daily activities. Looking at computer, tablet and phone screens is inactivity. The number of hours spent in front of a screen is highly associated with weight gain. So we are encouraged to go out and exercise. You don't have to necessarily go to a gym, but there are some exercises that you
like
can just
walking.
do indoors.
Even
or even
skipping
walking,
rope.
skipping a rope that can help you regulate your weight.
And you know, there are certain jobs where if you work, if you're working for maybe a certain company or something, there are certain jobs that it involves a lot of physical activity.
You'll just lose weight.
And then there are certain jobs where you just sit. Maybe you are seated in an office space the whole day. So automatically.
That can contribute. Another way is pregnancy. Weight gain is common during pregnancy. I think this is because you cannot involve yourself in many activities. Some women find this weight difficult to lose after the baby is born, obviously. We've talked about baby fat. This weight gain may contribute to the development of obesity in women. Also another way is quitting smoking. Quitting smoking is often associated with weight gain, and for some it can lead to enough weight gain to qualify as obesity. Often this happens as people use food to cope with smoking withdrawals. But overall, quitting smoking is still a greater benefit to your health than in continuing to smoke. So we are encouraged, yes, even if it may cause obesity, we are also encouraged to quit smoking because it may bring you other conditions.
Yes, and also I think that when it comes to pregnancy, ensure appropriate weight gain during pregnancy. Practice exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months after childbirth, and also continue breastfeeding after 24 months or maybe beyond. And also I think when you're pregnant, you should also regulate the amount of food and the kind of food and fats that you are taking inside the body, because you are not in the position to get into heavy physical exercise.
You should control your cravings.
Yes, and also I think even obesity, child obesity, when it comes to children, and also like the unborn baby, when they are born, you find that they struggle with overweight and maybe obesity. It's because of the behaviors that the mother had while they were pregnant. And also
And also another lifestyle choice is stress. Many external factors that affect mood and well-being may contribute to obesity. People often seek more high-calorie food during stressful situations so that they can relieve the stress.
Stress eating. Yes, and we've also said that you should avoid beverages like which have a lot of sugar. Limit consumption of sugar, sweetened beverages and energy dense foods, and promote other healthy eating habits. Also enjoy a healthy life, healthy diet, physical activity, sleep duration and quality. Avoid tobacco and alcohol, and also emotional self-regulation, as we've said, that stress, and also limit energy intake from total fats and sugars, and increase consumptions of fruits and vegetables, as well as legumes, whole grains and nuts, and always engage in physical activity. Regularly. That is something that
also I think another thing that we should do is have a balanced diet. Not just eat the way we are used to. Don't just eat anything that you come across. Always ensure in a day that you take in a meal that is balanced diet.
Yes. So our dear viewers, we are not short of words. Remember that obesity is a huge topic. You can also educate yourself. There are a lot of materials online. Even I think on YouTube you can get doctors who are talking about obesity, and you can learn about the condition, and you can also learn how to prevent it, or even how to manage obesity. Remember, you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles, because we have an amazing program lined up for you. On Faraja TV, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_Kenya.
Thank you for joining us. Let's do this tomorrow again. Remember, you can catch us live from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Monday to Friday. See you. God bless.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on